light of World Doula Week, I thought it would be really nice to, well, you may or may not think it's nice, but to do a week in the life of a doula, really. Yeah, so this is day one. It's Tuesday the 5th of April. I've just dropped my daughter off at school. Woke up extra early this morning. I'm pretty proud of myself and gifted myself a meditation with a pura tea ceremony, which I've been learning about through enlightenment tea. It's just been incredible. It's an incredible gift of nature with aged Chinese tea leaves. Yeah, it really sets up your day, helps you find that balance and peace. And it also is actually where I got the idea of doing this from. I'm currently just walking my dog. Sunny, come on. Before I go off to do a closing ceremony. So this morning I've got a closing ceremony I've been invited to do with another doula, Berda, in Brighton. It's her final visit with a client, and we're going to do it together, which is going to be really lovely. So looking forward to that. Just walking my dog so that he's okay to be left alone for a while, and so he gets some time. And then when I get home, I'll probably have to walk him again, and I've got some catching up to do, some emails to write for some appointments to make with other clients, and a follow-up email to write following a Zoom call I had yesterday, which was a shamanic birth preparation Zoom call with a lady in Ireland, which feels a real honour to be asked to do as well. So I'm putting together a package for her, and we're going to do a drum birthing in preparation for her birth and teach her a bit about drum and birth, and connecting in with nature and the importance of that for birth preparation. And then this evening I've got a Zoom call with my lovely teachers and sacred drumming family in preparation for module 1 of the sacred drumming course this year. It's the second module 1. We had one in person and now we've got one online this coming weekend, which is great. Yeah, so that's my day one. Hi. So this is day 2 of a bit of an insight into my week, into my world as a doula. So yeah, I woke up this morning and went for a little walk to collect some wild garlic, actually for a client this morning, because I know that she liked it. We had a conversation around it, and I think it's quite nice to collect some seasonal plants sometimes. Yesterday I picked nettle and nettle tops and young dandelion leaves to make a tea with the client whose closing we did in the morning. And today I thought I'd stop off and get my client today some wild garlic. I don't always do this, and obviously it depends on the time of year, and it also depends on the relationship with the client, you know, and the time of day that we meet perhaps, and you know how much time I personally have. There's a lot of variance to me doing that, but I did make the time to pick some garlic this morning, and that was nice. So then I was invited to my clients. We had a really lovely ceremony. She created this beautiful space today where she invited some of her friends and people that are going to be supporting her through her journey, and she offered us all a ceremony of tea and meditation within the space that she wishes to give birth. And then after that, we set about tidying, cleaning the space and preparing it for birth. And I can't tell you how amazing that felt to be with 4 women. So there was 4 of us, soon to have been 5 women, because another friend was going to come, and just preparing the space for her, and helping her with that vision physically, setting up the pool, setting up the altar, placing a deity that she honours in a space, and just clearing it, cleaning it, raising the vibration. It was really, really lovely. My only regret is that I had to leave early, because I had so many more ideas to help in that space. Because I love ceremony, I love preparing space, I love bringing songs and blessings, and that would have been really nice to do. But I had an appointment, unfortunately, which took me away from that space. But they all continued for the rest of the afternoon, which was lovely. And then after my appointment, I then went to meet some other doulas, one of which was a mentee of mine who became recognised, and we had a really lovely lunch together with another friend of ours, another doula, because we've all become really nice friends. It's really lovely. And we just honoured her recognition in spending some time together, having a really nice lunch and cake, brownies, and yeah, that was nice. And then I have the school run, have to come and pick up my daughter and prepare food, prepare dinner. Normally I would now be going to swimming lessons with her, but my partner's taken her. And I have now got some work to do on the computer, some writing, and I've got a client to reply to, who has sent me a question this evening. And yeah, and then tomorrow I've got a final day with a client who I've been working for 2 years. I supported their birth nearly two years ago. But they booked me, February of 2 years ago, to support their pregnancy birth. It was originally a shared job with another doula, and then I continued the postpartum support up until now, and I've seen them pretty much every week since, barring holidays and illness, which has been lovely. So so this is my second day. Oh, and I've just been reading a really lovely, I wrote an article in a magazine called The Celebrant, about mother's blessings. It's a magazine by a lady called Veronica Robinson, and this is her 11th issue. It's an absolutely brilliant magazine, and because I'm a celebrant as well, so I have subscribed to this and have written a little article for it, because I am actually pulling together a book on mother's blessings or parent blessings, because I think it's a really important rite of passage that we don't honour enough, that our ancestors knew, but we don't honour enough. And I think, we don't learn enough about ceremony and its impact on our lives, how it can augment a rite of passage and a transformation for us when we do a ceremony well. So that's what my book is going to be about. So until tomorrow. Hi, so this is day 3 and Thursday. It is now about 5 o'clock in the evening. So it's been quite long day. I drove to Haywards Heath this morning and supported a family that I've been supporting for 2 years, from pregnancy through to birth. It started as a shared support with another doula, and then I continued supporting postnatally up until today. Today was my last day, and I actually got a hug for the first time properly from the girls, and it was beautiful. So I feel a bit sad actually. And then I came home to a couple of phone calls, actually 3 phone calls. One about a mother's blessing by the sea, and another with a client that's due in the summer, and another phone call that I've just had with a lady, a client, or now a friend, who was calling, who's had her baby quite recently, and was just phoning up about some support around her baby. And now I'm about to go and cook, and then I've got some emails to reply to later. One from a shared client, and another for I've got to look at somebody's natal moon and due birth moon, what the phases are, so we can work out some dates to meet, because I find that people have a bit more energy. When we look at the moon, you can work out when the best time is sometimes for people's energy levels, as well as the fact it's quite fun to look at the cycle sometimes. Yeah, and I'm also on call as a one-off day for another doula whose client went into labour a bit early, and she's there, so I'm just on call for her. But it's looking quite unlikely that it will be me heading there today now, so I've rearranged a couple of things just in case, 2 Zoom calls just in case I need to go there. But it's looking cool, it's looking okay, and yeah, so that's today. And now I'm off to cook some pasta for my daughter and some friends of hers that are here to play. Hi, so I just want to talk about the amazingness of shared support and being backup, because I mentioned that in a previous video. I think working with other doulas, offering shared support and offering backup systems is actually the best way to work as a doula, because when you work solitary, it can be quite demanding on your time, and it's a huge commitment. It's amazing, it's an amazing job, obviously, but it means that you can share that time and you share that commitment. Doing shared means that you also share the income, you share the money between you. I do quite a lot of antenatal sessions and postnatal as well, so we share those between us, using our skill sets, using the skills that we've learnt, and depending on what the parents want, what works for them, what their wishes are. Each time, each family, each package is unique to me. Every doula works differently, and that can be a challenge, working as a shared doula, but it's also so beautiful. It's amazing. And backup means that the doula that's booked is the main doula, and the backup doula is there if need be, or if birth takes a few days and the main doula needs a bit of a break or needs to sleep for a while, then the backup doula will come in. It means that the doula as well has someone else to speak with who's met the family. The pay can vary depending on the doulas that you work with, so sometimes we just voluntarily back each other up, and sometimes we are paid a percentage, so that varies from doula to doula. And then with shared support we split 50-50, and we split the time generally 50-50, unless the clients actually prefer one doula and their work, then that doula can still be the main doula, but it's good to have that backup. And then when we go on call, so we're on call from 38 weeks, sometimes 37 weeks, depending on the parents, and we stay on call until they have their baby. So that can be up to 6 weeks sometimes, if they go up to 42 or 43 weeks gestation, which can be quite common, 42 weeks. So I actually think it depends on your moon phase, because I feel like through my 5-6 years of working as a doula, that's what I notice. It seems to very much link with the moon that the mum has been in a rhythm with in her own cycle. Here's my dog again. He's just come back from his adventure. I'll just show you. Here he is. So yeah, that's shared support and backup. If you have any questions after this video, do feel free to get in touch. And also, I didn't mention, I've been speaking on terms of doulas, but actually for parents it can be amazing to have 2 doulas, to have 2 people supporting you with 2 different skill sets. Some people don't like it at all and they just prefer one person because it's so personal, and it's a vulnerable time as well. So sometimes to have 2 people can be a bit too intimidating, but to have one person, can work. But yeah, quite often working in a team as doulas really works well for the parents as well, and primarily because we have different skill sets. So when I work with other doulas, it's such a bag of opportunities, of wisdom that you can draw from, and that's amazing. And it also means that there's more scope for extra postnatal work as well, which is also great. So yeah, that is shared and backup. Hi, good evening. Just quickly, something I haven't spoken about that I'll share with you, because I am just beginning to go on call for some clients that are due in about 3 weeks' time, but they feel like they might birth a bit earlier, so I feel like I need to start thinking about being on call as well. So when I go on call, if my parents are inclined in a slightly more spiritual way of being, my clients, that is, and often my clients will honour or believe in worship, want to call in for blessing a deity or a goddess. And my clients at the moment are actually honouring a deity called Tara, who is a earth goddess. I believe she's a Tibetan earth goddess. So in the light of that, and also to help me with my own preparation, I have an altar table anyway in my living room. This is my living room. And it has all the elements, something to represent the elements. There's some god figures as well, because my husband also uses it too. At the moment it's set up partially for spring, the spring equinox, but this candle I will light every night as long as I'm home, in honour of the parents that I'm supporting, and to call in the deities that they are worshipping and honouring, wanting to bless the space as well. So it helps me to prepare myself and get into that space too, and also in honour of our ancestors as well. Yeah, so this is my candle in honour of my clients as I am about to go on call for them. Good morning. So day 4, Friday. I'm pretty tired today. Actually, I didn't sleep so well, But walking my dog again, just dropped my daughter off at school. It's beautiful. This is like, it's so settling, it's so grounding to do these walks in the morning. Very often I take my socks and shoes off as well, and I do it barefoot, but I haven't done that this week. Normally I do, but this is just as amazing too, really, to have these. It's really important as a doula to give yourself space for grounding, for just finding yourself, because we give so much to others all the time that sometimes you just need that space for stillness within yourself. And it's also within that space of stillness that the ideas come, that self-nourishment comes. You can't pour from an empty cup, can you? And we need that stillness to be able to refill ourselves sometimes. And this is how I do it, with walks in the countryside, bird watching, walking barefoot, either by the sea, in the forest, on the downs, and having a dog is magic for that. So today, what am I up to today? When I finish my dog walk, going to drive to see our really, really lovely family who I supported 2 years ago with their first birth, and they're pregnant again. They've asked me to come back and support them again. The package that I'm doing with them isn't as big as the last one, so it's just, they just want me for birth support. So I'm just popping in to have a cup of tea and a catch up with them today, and say hi to their daughter again, and just reconnect with their relationships with them, because that's really important when supporting a family, that you have that connection, you have a bond, and with the children as well, if they've got other children. It's important to connect and have time with the dads as well, or the partners, because you're all working together to provide a supportive team for the birthing parent. But also the other family members need support too, in reassurance, and need a steady person that knows the birth space and trusts birth. So yeah, and then when I get home, I have a call that was actually rescheduled from yesterday about a mother's blessing, and then later on I've got another Zoom call to plan a postnatal support with another doula and a client. And then this evening I've got an amazing night out with some doula friends. We're going to go to an Indian tabla concert, so that's really exciting. So that's my day today, your little window into a doula world. And I'll just leave you for a moment with the sounds of these birds. So this is Saturday morning, Saturday lunchtime. I'm actually on a sacred drumming practitioner training call. It's module 1, and we're drum birthing today, so making drums with 9 students online. And I'm just in my lunch break, sitting outside by these incredible flowers. They are Calendula officinalis. They're actually one of my favourite herbs, and they are one of the top ones for when you have a baby, because they're incredible for when you make up a tea or an infusion. They are incredible for nappy rash, for cleaning the sore skin that babies sometimes get in their groin, in the folds of their neck and under their arms. To make a tea or an infusion and wash them with these flowers is incredible. They tend to bloom throughout the year as well, very often, and or at least when I've grown them in the past, they have actually often flowered in winter as well. This is a perfect time of year to also pick the young leaves and eat them, and they're just beautiful, aren't they? So the perfect flower to grow in your garden, perfect doula bag, or postnatal doula accompaniment to give to your clients and any mums watching this. If you grow these in your garden, they will keep growing, they will keep reseeding, and they are just, it's amazing to have ongoing flowers ready for your baby when or if they ever have skin complaints. Yeah, amazing flower. Hi. So where are we? We are on Monday, which is day 7. I'm really tired, as you can probably see. I was up quite early and had 2 healing appointments at the Anahata Centre because I'm a shamanic practitioner and I hire a space there and offer soul retrieval, healing, energy rebalancing, womb work, postnatal. I can do antenatal sessions there as well, but no one's ever booked a antenatal shamanic drum journey or any kind of shamanic pregnancy session there, although I don't actually advertise that, but that is a possibility. So I mostly do soul retrievals and womb healing closing sessions there. And then after I finished that, around just after lunch, I went to Worthing and I met some lovely clients who had their baby last month, and we had a really lovely lunch and went for a walk around a beautiful garden together, and yeah, they're doing really well. And then I came back to Brighton and had a appointment with a dad, a birthing partner, who had just had some concerns about how he's feeling around his birth, which is really normal for other parents to the non-birthing partner to feel like that. You know, anxieties, because birth is such a big thing, anxieties for the birthing parent and non-birthing parent are really, really common. And it doesn't matter whether you've had 1 baby or 5 babies, those birth anxieties can still arise. So that's me. I'm really tired. It's about 10 o'clock in the evening, and I've just been doing some research as well around a birth that I'm on call for, and contacting different people around some research for that birth. So yeah, I wanted to do this video before the day ended, and I don't know, to be honest though, it's real. It's a video about doulaing and about birth doulaing, and birth doulaing means being self-employed, and sometimes my brain just doesn't switch off. I'm thinking about a family and I'm researching and I'm thinking through and using my spare time at home to debrief with other doulas, or to listen to other doulas as well. We've got quite a big support network in Brighton, and so actually something I haven't recorded in this video is the amount of phone calls I have with other doulas, either to talk about my experiences, or to ask them a question, or to listen to their experiences and debrief their births. And I'm also a doula mentor, so very often I take phone calls from my mentees as well, and talk through their situations, their births, make suggestions, and mentor them through their doulaing, which is lovely, so a massive chunk of my weeks are taken up with speaking with colleagues and close doulas that have become friends and mentees. So that has also woven its way into my day as well today a little bit. Anyway, so tomorrow I won't do another video, I will leave it there, and tomorrow I am going to meet with another doula, and we're going to go and bless the birth house, of the birth space of a couple that we're both supporting, and we're going to talk about their postnatal plan. And if you have any questions around this video of my kind of daily diary entries that I've been doing, do feel free to get in touch and ask. Hi, so there's one more thing that I should probably cover when it comes to doulaing, and that's the cost. The cost is a really tricky one with doulaing, because the work of doula is a profession. We are support, we provide emotional, spiritual, and often physical support during labour, and we support with birth preparation, emotional support during pregnancy, sometimes spiritual support, and postnatally as well. And it can be a really long period of time. And then we also go on call for 2 weeks. So being on call means that we have to block out a huge part of our diary, often up to a month, to be able to support families. Sometimes that on call is just a few days, but very often it can be 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 4 weeks. So our fee has to match that, so that we can pay our own bills and pay our own childcare support. So the fee of a doula can vary wildly depending on where you live, the cost of living, and what they offer in their package. So as a doula, if you're a doula watching this, you need to work out your costs, your living costs, any childcare costs, petrol costs, all your expenses, and then money for your time as well, and and work out what that would mean for you. And then for parents watching as well, it's most doulas do offer payment plans. So the fee can be anywhere between £800 and I think I've seen about £2,000, maybe a bit more sometimes, for especially with shared support. And because you're also paying for the cost of 2 doulas to go on call, and both of their skill sets. So before I close this video down, I just wanted to share that little bit about cost, because a lot of people buckle at the cost of a doula. And a lot of people also wonder, why have a doula when you have midwives present? And that's because doulas provide continuous support. We are there for you whenever you want to phone us. We will come round and visit you when you need us. We will help you with research, and we really spend a lot of time and energy thinking about you and supporting you during the time that we walk your path with you to having your baby and afterwards. So I often hear doulas compare how much we spend on our babies at birth, how much money we spend on decorating, on buying buggies, on cots, buying all the equipment that we think we need, that we feel we need. And actually the cost of a doula isn't really that much to provide you with the emotional support and or physical, spiritual support, and all the skill sets that we can bring to help you to feel empowered and help you to really look back on your labour, on your birth, on your pregnancy, on your postnatal time, your postnatal moon, and really feel that you made the right choices for you and your baby, and that you had the support that you needed to be able to transition through the whole experience with as great at ease as possible. So the cost is it's a difficult one, because we are a profession and it's an energy exchange, but it's an important one. So there's my thoughts on cost and doula fees. Thank you so much for watching, if you've made it this far.